You have to wonder, is it really necessary to cut down old growth?
It's impossible not to feel the life force here.
And rather than just saying, oh, there's nothing we can do about it and walking away, we said, no, we're not going to let this happen.
You're just running along this trail and then all of a sudden it's like road location. You're like, where?
We still have these places that are truly wondrous and that deserve protection.
There is something about the rawness of this coast of Vancouver Island. It's just so pristine. I mean, there's something about where the ocean meets the forest like this. It's really, really powerful. I mean, you know that these trees to survive the storms that blow off the Pacific Ocean. You know that there's some burly trees.
It's interesting to be surrounded by such large trees, because I think that to feel small, which I think is a really important feeling to have as a human, to be humbled and to realize that you're just a small piece of this immense puzzle.
I come out to somewhere like this and it forces me to slow down. Like, I just find I don't want to rush through places like this because you miss the details. But I find that when you spend more time here, then that's what makes you fall in love with it.
Every day I take my tired feet to the store and I pull my heels across the dusty floor. Oh, the dust, it sticks to me. I take it home, keeps collecting into one judgmental stone. Could I go somewhere where I can feel the moonshine flow and the sun would be upon me every day? Could I go somewhere where I can feel the moonshine glow and the sun would beat upon me every day? Lay down my
I honestly didn't even realize how much logging was still happening in these old growth areas. I kind of assumed that a lot of them were already protected. And the fact that that's still a battle that's being fought now kind of blows me away, because to me it seems like a no-brainer that we would be saving these areas. And I think that that's where there's such an opportunity for us to get involved.
Often people say, well, if you replant trees after logging and they grow back, which they typically do, then what's the problem? It's a renewable resource. But we don't really have a tree issue, we're facing an ecosystem issue. And the question should be, do the second growth tree plantations adequately replicate the old growth forests that they're replacing? And the answer is they don't. And the reason really is time. Second growth is logged every 50 to 60 years again, typically on the coast, and that's just not long enough for it to redevelop the unique characteristics that these ancient forests have.
Those trees have been standing for centuries or millennia, and they will not be replaced in one or even several human lifetimes. And now that we've changed the Earth's climate so dramatically and continue to change it, we're seeing that the mortality rate of older trees is increasing. So we're putting additional pressures on the forest, and it's not clear that we'll be able to see forests like this develop again. But we still have these places that are truly wondrous and that deserve protection.
We stopped at a lookout and we could see him from there, and he didn't look that big. But as we started approaching on the trail to get down here, I started to realize how big he actually is.
It's like this pure, elongated tree, just in the middle of this cut block.
I think that Big Lonely Doug is probably the clearest and most striking example of both the beauty and grandeur, yet the unfortunate destruction of BC's old growth forests. To think that a company was still able to come in here and log some of the last valley bottom old growth forest, that just should not be an acceptable practice in this day and age.
Hopefully this big tree with its big root system, is speaking to the rest of the forest and explaining to it what's about to come and how it'll survive the next 1,000 years as well.
Today, old growth forests are more valuable when left standing. For the myriad of environmental reasons, for endangered species, for the climate, but also for ecotourism, because they're so rare today. On Vancouver Island, it's about 79% of the productive old growth forests have been logged, including 90% of the valley bottoms where the biggest trees grow and the richest biodiversity resides. On southern Vancouver Island, it's 96% of the valley bottom old growth that's been logged. So when the government or industry talks about balance, we need balance, well, where's the balance in that? They've already taken way more than their fair share, and now they're trying to split the last piece of the pie in half and say, hey, we're being nice. And they're actually not even giving us that.
We really are reliant on our forests to store and to sequester carbon. And trees are the best carbon capture and storage things that we have. They're better than any of the technologies that have been invented to date. And when we harvest an old growth forest, we result in a pulse of greenhouse gases being given off, and that further accelerates climate change. So deforestation is responsible globally for about 1/4 of the increase in greenhouse gases.
Today we're in one of my favorite places really on planet Earth, a place called the Eden Grove. This is one of the last remaining unprotected lowland old growth forests right at the base of Edinburgh Mountain. And on southern Vancouver Island today, that's an extremely rare thing to come across or find, where we've lost 96% of our valley bottom old growth forest today due to logging. The Eden Grove is a truly spectacular place. It's filled with these gigantic old growth red cedars and Douglas firs. It seems like taking a trip back in time to wander through here. And this is really an example of the way much of Vancouver Island would have looked in the distant past, and one of the greatest showcases of just how magnificent the forest can grow here in British Columbia. It's kind of like the redwoods of Canada.
We're here in Eden Grove, the area that we're hoping to protect, and you can definitely see like the clear line where the road's going to go through. And it's pretty shocking to see, like just straight down line of sight through all this beautiful old growth forest.
Kind of cuts right through, right? You're just running along this trail, and then all of a sudden it's like road location. You're like, where?
It's a very drawing feeling because I feel like we've been running through this incredible forest and like having fun and moving with the trees. And then just to come here and just see what they plan to do. It's
yeah. Should we walk down there a little bit and see? Follow the road path.
Follow the road.
I just feel like what gives us the right to come in here with bulldozers and destroy this incredible life force here that's been here for thousands of years doesn't really make sense.
I think that governments hope that people remain apathetic. It's a lot easier to carry on with the status quo if people feel like they can't make a difference or affect change. The Avatar Grove, though, I think is a great example. I stumbled upon that forest and found that it was potentially going to be cut down, And rather than just saying, oh, there's nothing we can do about it and walking away, we said, no, we're not going to let this happen. Didn't take no for an answer. Inspiring people to speak up, make their voices heard, contacting the government, writing letters, working with business groups, working with the chamber, trying every angle possible and not giving up until no became a yes. And today, that forest is standing. You have visitors coming from all across the globe. And I think it taught me that we have more power than we think we do.
You have to wonder, is it really necessary to cut down old growth? We just have so little of it left. And I think that's probably the big tragedy about all this, is what could potentially be lost for what? For the last 1%, the last 10%. There's nothing left. The logging industry has been very important to Canada, and I still think it is an important industry, but there's ways of doing it, and I think areas like this should be preserved.
We just need to be advocates for these places. We're so spoiled to be able to run and enjoy places like this. Don't be afraid to speak up about something that you're passionate about. If you feel a calling to say something, say it, because sometimes it just takes one voice and one person to listen to that to start a ripple effect, to start a whole cascade of change.
It just strikes me that if we don't take this opportunity and if we don't raise our voices, that it's gone and we don't get it back. I could be running through here in a few years and all that I'll see is these stumps. It's like the ghosts of giants.